Titles, dope soul. Understand that no title that you hold or seek to hold will ever define you. It never has, it never does, and it never will. Titles are simply for understanding, a way of processing, not a means of defining. You're not an object. You're an extraordinary soul, writing the book of your life. Fill it with experiences, triumphs, and defeats. All things to make your story as unique as possible. It's you, so be who you are. So get up, get at it, get to it. Let's make it happen. Do those things you see for yourself. No fear, no worries, no apologies. NFB dope.
Hey, and we back, and we back, and we back. You know who it is. It's Lord Phly, and that's from the man of mystery. We here early on this Monday morning. Dope soul, with Lord Phly on Big Mouth Media platform. How you doing? How was your weekend? How was everything? I hope you're getting up, getting at it, getting to it. I know you just heard that morning message. We're talking about titles. We're gonna start doing a weekly segment. So we're gonna, instead of doing something each time we get on the show, I'm gonna have the week talk about a segment. So this week we're talking about titles and understanding that titles do not define you. They do not define you. You're not defined by any title that you have had, or that you will have. You are defined by your character and who you are as a person. So anybody that's trying to put you in the boxes of what a title is, tell them to get out of here. Tell them you're not trying to hear it. Don't even pay any mind to it, because what is it helping you do? Nothing. Nothing at all. It's time to get up, get at it, get to it. Titles. Let's make it happen. As I said, I hope your weekend went great. I hope everything was lovely for you. You know, Father's Day was this weekend, so I hope you enjoyed yourself. You know what I'm saying? I got to kick it with my pops, a couple other guys, you know what I'm saying, that gave me fatherly advice along the way, along the years. You know, we always congregate in my aunt crib, and I get to see any and everybody at one time. I don't really got to make a lot of stops. I definitely had to go see my pops. But I see him all the time. We chop it up all the time. I don't need just a day to show him appreciation. That's my guy. It's my guy. Shouts to him. I hope he's watching. As I said, the topic of this week, not the day, the topic of this week is titles and understanding that they do not define you. Y'all know I like to hit y'all with some questions to get a little more understanding of who, what, when, where, why, and hows of you. Ask it of those around you as well to ensure you got genuine people in your corner. But first off, you got to ask yourself, sit your ass down, look in the mirror, and say who, what, when, where, why, and how of me, and make it happen. So, the titles. Who are you without a title? Do you know? Actually, that's a question that you should ask yourself first. Who are you without your name? Who are you without a title? If you're a doctor, if you're a chef, if you're a rapper, it doesn't matter. Who are you without that? Who is your character without that? Because that shouldn't tell or define anything about you. That should just be an asset to you. That's one of the things that you do, not who you are. You're more than whatever it is, that any title that you can actually hold, any title that you can attain. So if you are a rapper, you're more than a rapper. I hope you would know that. Trust and believe. The rappers out here now getting it, doing a whole lot of other things. So if they was just in the box of a rapper, people wouldn't allow them to do anything. Understand that. So if you box yourself in, it's only gonna ooh, man. Let me get my stuff right. Give me some water. I know y'all want to see me drink water, but I need it. You know what I'm saying? Mouth a little parched. But as I said, back to the titles and understanding that who you are is not defined by any title that you have. Any title that you have had, or that you actually hold, or you seek to hold. So who are you without a title? That's a question you definitely got to ask yourself. After that, what are titles to you? Actually understand what titles mean to you. A lot of people strive to be a simple title. Think about it. Someone that sets their life out to be a doctor. They set their whole life out to be a doctor when that's simply a title. Being a doctor is an asset to the character that they are, to the soul that they rep, to the dope soul that they actually are. They can do way more than save a life. They save lives every day just by inspiring people and pushing them forward, outside of being a doctor, outside of whatever specialty that they focus on. So understand, no title defines you. Yes, they are good. They help you. They can be assets to you, but they don't define you. They don't tell a person exactly who you are. Just because you are something doesn't mean that you fit into the lines or the boxes that those titles display. Being, you never know. Any title. I mean, there are plenty of titles. There's various titles that people would obtain to hold. Even being in a relationship. Think about that. Being a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You're more than just a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You are who you are. That person is in tune and appreciates and loves you for the person that you are, not just because you're a boyfriend. And if it's that case, that means they could put anybody in that spot. No, that if it's a title existing, anybody can be placed in there. You bring more to whatever title that you obtain and hold, not the other way around. Being something doesn't make you more. You being who you are makes that more. You bring more to the table. Know that. Where? Whoa, these lights is crazy. Where have titles taken you? That's funny. It's so many lights. I'm like, yo, I'm getting a little crazy on it. Can I see? Where have titles taken you? Trust and believe that titles can do a lot for you. As I said, they can be assets to you. They're not to your detriment. At times they can be when you're placed into boxes that don't fit you or boxes that don't go in line with who you are as a person. But at the same time, they can be assets to you. They can help push you forward, but at the same time, they don't define you. As I said, whatever title you hold does not mean that you are that person. You're in the box or the list of guidelines that somebody could lay out on a piece of paper. You wouldn't want who you are to be able to be listed on a piece of paper anyway. Your resume is to get you in the door, not define who you are, not tell a person everything about you. There's no way. You know, they don't want your resumes to be long anyway. Can you really fit your life on one page? No. So why even try to define your life as one page? Why even try to define your life into one title, one thing? We don't need to be doing that. We got to get up, get at it, get to it, make it happen for self, and know that self is the dope soul that you are, not the title that you hold. Know that. Please, please, please understand. Titles do not define you. I can't stress it enough. When do titles come without stipulations? Most times they don't. Most times titles come with a list of do's and don'ts. I mean, of course, pros and cons, do's and don'ts, list of tasks to make happen and things that you shouldn't do. So with that, it's always a stipulation. It's always something. You never get something for nothing. If that makes sense to you. Nobody's going to give you anything. So any title that you obtain, trust me, it's a standard. So you have to reach that standard. You have to take care of whatever you need to make those standards happen, to get those things done. But at the same time, doing those things don't define you as a person. That's why you have to stay aware. Be in tune with who you are as a person, not just following the list of tasks to do a certain thing, and then when you get to the end of it, you wondering what's next. You already know what's next. You already be pushing yourself towards that next threshold, that next title or standard, because you've created a standard for yourself. You already see yourself at the highest level, so you pushing yourself to get there. So make sure you're making that happen. We're going a little fast. We can slow it down a little bit. How y'all? Are you in tune? Are you feeling what I'm saying? Do you know that titles do not define you? Are you really? I'm trying to see my production, but I don't understand what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Oh, we got some comments. That's what she's saying. We got comments. But y'all know at this point, I can't really see all that. So if y'all shouting or saying something during the episode, I definitely appreciate you. Shouts to everybody, waving back. Kisses, flowers, throw bouquets. 4th of July coming. We're going to get some fireworks. But I just like the fact that you're tuning in and you're making sure you know what it is. Lord Phly spreading the message each and every day. But Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you catch Dope Souls. We're going to get back to it about these titles and not allowing them to define you, though. Can't get away from that. That is the topic of the week, not the day. Titles and not allowing them to define you. You are more than any title that you could have had, have, or will have. You are a dope soul. Make it happen. No fear, no worries, no apologies. Let's get back to these questions. Why allow a title to define you? A lot of times people view titles more than they view themselves. So they feel like reaching a certain standard or being a certain thing is more than whoever it is that they are when they get out of bed every morning. And you're not. As I said, no title can be more than who you are as a person. I don't care what it is. Most people view doctors very highly. Trust and believe. It's some asshole doctors. So just because you're a doctor don't mean your character, right? Pay attention to your character and who you are. You're bigger than any box anybody could ever place you in. You create your own box. As I said, I am the box. Phly is my box. Be an ideal. Be who you are. Make sure people stand on that. Make sure you're showing people that each and every day. Don't be somebody different depending on what room you're in. Make the rooms different because you're in them. Be who you are. No fear, no worries, no apologies. NEFB dope. Lord Phly told you so. Somebody ask you, well, why you don't apologize? Phly told me I ain't have to. And I don't apologize for who I am. It's NEFB dope. We make it happen. How do you proceed with life without how do you proceed with life without a title defining you? Understand that if a title's not defining you, you have no limits. You can reach anything that you set out to. You create your own standard, you can reach them because whatever you set out for yourself, trust and believe, you have it within you to make it happen. Everything you will ever need for yourself relies within yourself. Pay attention to that first so you can understand the things that are going on outside and how you can utilize them to help push you forward. Not just be involved in them, not just be around, not just being wherever the wind blows. Be where you want to be. Set a standard, meet it. Create a standard higher than anything that anybody can ever set for you and achieve it. You can. Outside of me telling you you can, tell yourself you can. Look in the mirror. Get up, get at it, get to it. No fear, no worries, no apologies. So, how do you proceed with life without a title defining you? You get up, you get at it, you get to it. Don't allow any title to be placed upon you that is not you or that you are not willing to adhere to. And know that just because you have that title, that you are more than anything that can be placed on you. You can make it happen. I don't care what you're doing. Just because you're a janitor don't mean that you can't fix a computer. Just because you fix computers don't mean that you can't hoop. Like, you know what I'm saying? All these things, we are people. We are human beings. We are very multifaceted. Everybody in this world can do an abundance of things. It's just all on what you pay attention to, all on what you put your focus into. So you got to get up, get at it, get to it for what you're focused to get to. Not what people are telling to you, not what the world is saying that you need to be doing. You know what you need to be doing. You know what you need to be doing. And if you don't, maybe you should ask yourself those questions and figure it out. But don't allow everybody else to be telling you what you need to be doing, because are you really living a life that's yours? Good question, right? So pay attention. Make sure you're asking yourself the who, the what, the when, the where, the why, and the hows of you. Ask it of these, the topics that I give you. Ask it of everything in your life. Trust me, it don't take long. 7 to 30 seconds to just be like, what's going on? What am I? Because at the point, you ain't gonna have to ask yourself who you are. You already know. So it's gonna already be a skip to like, okay, what's going on? What I need to do? How do I move forward? How do I proceed and progress from this moment? Is it doing something, or is it simply separating myself? Because sometimes that's the best way as well. You don't need to be involved in everything. Know what is for you. The things that aren't, do away with them. There's no reason to even be involved in them. It's time to get up, get at it, get to it, make it happen. Well, as I said, the topic of this week, we're going to start doing weekly topics, is titles. Titles, and understanding that they do not define you. You are not defined by any title that you can have, that you have had, or that you will have. You are defined by your character. You are a dope soul. You know how to get up, get at it, get to it. So it's time to make it happen. No fear, no worries, no apologies. NEF be dope. Take a little break. I don't want to talk y'all to death, give y'all a little some sexiness, give y'all some music. You had that Good Company by Wild Child and my man Groove, Jump Off Studios. Y'all know he involved in damn near everything I do. That's the guy. Shout out my man Wild Child. His birthday was actually yesterday, man. Turned 25. Hey, quarter century. It's time to get to it. Mindset different. You're making it happen, man. Keep doing it. But like I said, I'm going to give y'all a little break for the music. Shout my man Tay in here. He always come pull up on me and show love. If y'all not listening to Tay Fame, I'm tight with you. And you need to tune in so you can get some of that. But we're going to take this little break. We're going to get back to you. Dope Souls, Lord Phly, Big Mouth Media, and MP Dope. See you in a minute.